Hello and welcome to the Salt City Gamescast. This is episode 159. My name's Nick Naylor. Sitting across from me is Jared Ellum.
Hello.
We've got whiskey. We've got whiskey to sample, try.
Mm-hmm.
You got big choice.
I do.
Jared got a new house, so I was like, "Here's a housewarming gift," but you got to pick which one. So it's kind of funny because I get the worst one. So hopefully there's not like, oh,
well,
so this one. I don't think I'm pretty sure from what I'm reading. I don't think either of them is
from what
we're gonna be upset about.
Yeah, so they're both Michter's products. These are limited releases from Michter's. It's the Shanks, right? Shanks, and then Bomburgers. And they do these once a year. I saw both of them and I was like, well, did he go to fucking the Michter's distillery? Why does he have these? Because they're pretty hard to come by. And I do know about them. I mean, I would say that probably when we're talking about Michter's products, the one that people are really seeking out and is extraordinarily hard to find is going to be like their 15-year bourbon. And that one runs high. It's very expensive. And I've had it in a flight when I was in Kentucky and it was good. But it wasn't like, holy shit. I just think that Michter's is like really good. They're like lower end products. They're great mixers, and it's a decent whiskey for sure.
Yeah, I want to get a few of their bottles after I'm about done with what is reasonable to get of E.H. Taylor.
Yeah.
I just want that full proof, and then I'll probably pick a new bourbon one to kind of chase and start to sample those. But this first one I believe it was
the Shanks.
The Shanks was the lower proof of the two.
I want to say Shreks for some reason. So
it doesn't say on the bottle. 45%.
It's a really nice nose. I'll say that.
91%. But yeah. So you got a new house, so you got to move one more bottle over there, which I can't even imagine what you're up against trying to move the amount of bottles you have.
So I'm going to be completely honest with you. I haven't started yet.
Oh no.
That is one thing that I will need to do. And yeah, so I bought like a bunch of totes and boxes, and I also bought specific like bottle packing material. It's like designed to wrap bottles up. So I think I'll be safe. It's just gonna be arduous.
And the way you're doing it, you don't have to pack. I mean, you don't have to say I'm packaging up every bottle right now and moving them all right. Like you're making some trips and stuff. So
for sure,
which makes it so you didn't have to buy as many boxes, I guess.
Right.
In theory.
Yeah. I think I bought like 7 or 8 totes. Which sidebar here, fucking the price of totes is too damn high, Nick. That fucking 6 totes, 17-gallon totes, it cost me $130.
You can't afford to move.
What are we fucking doing, dude? I mean, they're nice totes, but I didn't buy top of the line totes. For 6 of like the top of the line ones, you're looking at like $230.
It's why people go to like the freaking Walmart and ask them if they're unloading boxes, because it's
dude. What the fuck?
And then what are you gonna do with them after?
I don't know. Probably just keep them in my garage.
Jungle juice. So much jungle juice.
Yeah. So I guess this is like the announcement. Technically, I have 2 houses right now, which is kind of problematic.
Just collect them.
It's not ideal. But yeah, just some changes, a little bit of shake up, broke up with the old ball and chain, as they say. And now I am, I'm living free. Bachelor Jared
over there trying to figure out what you got to do on your house. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So there's some stuff that it needs to be done. Like it's in really good condition overall. And when we did the inspection, the inspector was like, this is a good house. It also has 2 brand new roofs. Like the main house has a brand new roof, which is great. And then my garage also has a brand new roof on it. So that's good.
That's a nice thing to not have to worry about.
But I've got a lot of concrete work that I got to do, like a lot. My driveway is pretty long and it's just completely fucked. And so and then also on the side of my house, like I've got a door that goes to my backyard, and whoever did the concrete sloped it the wrong way. So it sloped towards the house rather than away from it. So theoretically, if we get heavy rain or snow, water will go towards the house, which is not ideal.
Luckily, we don't get a whole lot of that anymore.
Yeah.
So, No, that's I mean, that sucks, but like in the grand scheme of things, when I looked at the pictures and stuff, I was like, this is not a big deal. Like one of our mutual friends reached out to me because she was putting an offer on a house. And she's like, what do I need to look for? Like, what are the, and I was like, well, here's like the time bombs that can really cause you fucking problems.
Yeah.
Like water lines, and like roof and things like that. But like when I looked at yours, I'm just like, yeah, like the concrete looks like shit, but the concrete doesn't fucking cause any major problems. Like the concrete is just a thing that can look like shit for a long time.
I
and
prefer
then it
it
can,
not to look like shit.
Sure, but it's just not a, like, we moved into our house and we thought we had a galvanized water line, and that's a time bomb. It blows up, basically. They don't hold up. They don't use galvanized anymore. Turns out it was a lead water line, which is far worse if you know a lot about lead. But we had to replace it, and while I was proactive about it to actually replace it. But it's fucking sucked.
Yeah,
and it's the most unsatisfying way to spend money, because you bury it, and then at the end of the day, you're like, well, I had water yesterday, and now I have far less money, and we have water today.
Yeah.
And when you do the driveway, you're going to be like, ugh. And then you do the driveway and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Satisfying.
It's going to cost a pretty penny, though. It's a pretty long driveway. So that's probably going to be maybe a project that I do once I sell my other house and get some equity out of that, and I'm flush with cash.
Look and see next year.
Yeah. Like when it warms up again. And see, but outside of that, like really not a lot of stuff that needs to be done. It's just more like cosmetic things. I've got this weird fucking like closet thing in the basement next to my laundry room that's just like an open space. There's not like a door on it or anything like that, and I want to put a barn door, like a sliding barn door over it, so that I can store things in there and not make it look weird.
It's just weird, right?
Yeah.
You get those. My house actually doesn't have any enormous amount of weird things, as opposed to like when we were like looking at houses, you'd go in there like, this is a bedroom, and it's just like, that closet is 9 inches wide. Are we sure that this is like, or it would be like the closet's 5 feet tall, or just like really odd things happen in some of these older houses.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It adds charm, I guess. Is what they say.
Yeah, adds charm that I want to get rid of immediately. And then I've also got, there's like a little storage area underneath my stairs to my basement, and there's just like a square hole that like is just open and exposed underneath the stairs. So I'd like to figure out a way to do something there. And then the room where my water heater and my furnace is like just a door without a door on it. So kind of want to put a door on there so I don't have to look at that. Stuff like that. But yeah, it should be pretty minimal. I'm crossing my fingers. I did buy a home warranty as well, which was nice because the previous owners paid for more than half of it. So I literally paid like $200 for the year. So hopefully I can get my fill of that. I also need to install a new garage door because it's so old and it works like a fucking champ. It's like just opening and closing, doing what it's supposed to do. But it's so old that it doesn't even, like, it was before the technology of like openers came into play. So it will be very annoying to have to like get out of my car, fucking open it and then close it. So I definitely want to replace it with a new, not the door. The door's fine, but just like the motor and all that stuff. So
my garage door is a piece of shit on this garage. The one that we
really,
since day one.
Huh.
What we hired the company. It was a whole deal actually, but one guy showed up to do it, and it's a large 2-car garage, I guess. But anyway, it's really wide. One guy installed the whole thing. It took him all day. I had a Christmas party that night. We went to the Christmas party. The installer called us at 9 o'clock at night and was like, I'm done, but I can't leave until I'm paid. It's like a company rule. And we had like a contact with the owner on this, and I was like, motherfucker, it's 9 at night. Like we're not there. And the owner called and was screaming at my wife about the whole deal. And then my brother, who knew him, got involved and was like, what in the hell is, like, you're gonna get paid, but it's 9 at night. Like, maybe
Maybe don't be crazy.
Work quicker, right? But anyway, in hindsight, it's like I wish I wouldn't have paid the fucker because the thing's a piece of shit, and I have had to learn how to like it gets off the track all the time, and it's bad time, which leads to the next topic, which it's unfortunate because you just bought a house. Home ownership, it sucks. You got to repair all this shit. I'm pissed. I had to repair a fence today.
Yeah,
and
it's a bit of a mess.
The story of my home ownership, I feel like, is I just dig holes. Like, I bought the house, I dug holes and trenched for the sprinklers, and then I dug holes for a gas line, and then I dug a long trench and a hole for the water line, and then I dug a big hole for this garage and this podcast room, and then that ruined the whole yard, so we had to redo, and I dug more holes for there, and now I'm redoing fence posts because the gate the gate's been a problem for a while.
Yeah, that gate sucks.
It sucks shit. The whole thing's been like sagging, so I'm just like ripping it apart, but it was a really shitty thing where I had to pull out this fence post that was in concrete and it was moving, and I'm like, I was able to just pull it out of the concrete, and the concrete's still there, which is really fucking weird, but there's just this square hole now that goes down, and I'm like, well, I can put the new post just back in that hole, but it took me hours to get all the wood out, and I was like bent over and working, and I was just like, I'm too old for this fucking bullshit, and I was not happy. And then it'll be done tomorrow, I think, but fuck, dude, digging holes. I don't want to dig holes anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I dug holes for the fucking playhouse. Like, it's just too many holes.
My favorite thing about what's going on, my ex-girlfriend dropped me off, and she parked for some reason, and I was like walking, because I usually walk on the side of your house. Well, I always walk on the side of your house to get into your backyard to come up to the podcast area. And you've just got this, like, the fence is gone, it is missing, and in its stead you have like a probably like 2.5 foot high kitty fence from the side of your house all the way to your neighbor's side of the house. And my ex-girlfriend parked, and she was like looking at me for some reason, and I just pointed at this little kitty fence, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And we laughed, and it was a funny situation. So
kind of funny. That fence doesn't even belong to me. I've had it since COVID. That belongs to the owner of Fisher Brewing. So
right.
I don't think they want it back. But
yeah, so it's a lot going on. I'm very busy.
Yep.
I was like, do we cancel this? But I'm glad that we're here. Also, the Shrek's is fantastic. It's a sour mash as well, which is not a super common thing that you see. Obviously sour mash is made popular by Jack Daniels. So that process is what Jack Daniels do. But that is delicious. So let's try this next one.
I think it's an easy drinker. It was pretty
really
pain-free. Yep. This one's a little stronger. I think it's in the 50s.
This is the Bomb Burgers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, let's give this one a go.
Absolutely. Well, there are some games coming out, kind of. Yes. Yeah, that's true. Quite a few. And I think we're maybe getting into some sort of a...
Really, the only one that matters came out, and it shut down the fucking internet.
That's true. We can just start with that a little bit. Just Hollow Knight Silksong. It's a real thing. It came out a couple days ago. We're not going to dive into it on this show.
Yeah, next week or next time.
But I'll just say that it came out 2 days ago, and I'm 6 hours in.
Okay.
And there's a reason, because I'm having a good time. The only thing I'll say is that I play a lot of these games handheld, and I played this on both. I really like it on the computer screen, and I kind of feel like I'm hurting myself to play it handheld because it looks fucking great on the big screen.
Good to know.
And I just don't have as much time to play on sitting at the desk. But with this game, I'm just like, just doesn't feel quite right. But
did you run into any issues? Because I sure did, trying to download the game.
So funny thing, because we had talked and we'd said, hey, Switch. Yeah, Switch 2. I think you were like, absolutely, Switch 2. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. We got a new console. It's a bigger screen. I'll absolutely do that. And then the morning came, and I was sitting at my work computer, and I was like, oh, it's out. And I bought it on Steam and didn't even think about it. And I was like, well, I guess I have it on Steam because I forgot to buy it on Switch 2. So yeah, I'm playing on Steam, I did not try to do anything right when it came out because it kind of shut down everyone's platform. Steam went down. I think their concurrent got up to like 500 something thousand, which is a lot. And
Nuts, man.
it's pretty crazy. And did you have issues? What were your issues?
Yeah, so I bought it on the Switch. It's interesting that you bought it on the PC because it's on Game Pass. So you could have just. I know that like
I don't have game. I stop and start Game Pass all the time, and also we're really getting a lot of sidebars here. But we just went back to financially in my household. We used to use Mint.com. You could like see all your stuff,
Sure,
and then they would like went out of business or some shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, we just did a new one,
Yeah.
and so I could like look at it and I could see how many fucking subscriptions I had,
Yeah.
and I was like, holy fuck!
Was it?
How do we have so many?
Was it
So,
Rocket Money that you used?
It was I think we might now be at Rocket Money.
Yeah, and that is not a coincidence at
so-
all if you listen to the Jeff Gertzman fucking show
Really?
because he always is just like Rocket Money, Rocket Money, and you can tell in his voice he's like, I hate this, but this is necessary to do.
But because I saw that, I had all these subscriptions, and I said, look, I feel like occasionally you just need to go scorched earth, and I just canceled fucking all of them, right? I went through all of it and I said, we're going back to square one. And then as I want to add them back in, we'll just add them back in because it was just, some of it just wasn't like, I wasn't using them. Sling TV, I think I used for the Olympics. And I think that was
Fucking
last summer.
Sling TV.
It was some bullshit, like I needed something to watch one thing because we don't have cable or anything.
Right.
I've never done that. So there's too many and I was wasting money on shit. So
Yeah.
I'm down to, I have no subscriptions.
All right. Well, fair. But yeah, anyways, get back to what I was talking about. Yeah, like, so I got up Thursday and immediately just grabbed the Switch 2 and was like, I'm not going to play this probably for the next little bit, but I'm definitely going to download it,
Sure,
get it ready to rock and roll. And I go to the Nintendo store and it just fails immediately. It's like, there's a problem. And I was like, oh, all right. And I hadn't read anything about like what was going on in the world around Silksong. So I was like, maybe it's me. Maybe it's my network. My network's pretty good. So I don't know why I would be having issues with this. So I like completely closed the Switch off. I didn't like put it in sleep mode. I shut it down and then turned it back on. And same thing. And then I finally got to the homepage and everything loaded up fine. And then I went to the Silksong like page and everything just was like glitchy and fucked up. And I just did this over and over and over again, like refresh the screen, refresh it. And then finally I got it to like show the icon to purchase, immediately clicked it and then got my payment details are already locked in. So it was like, thanks for your purchase or whatever it says. Yeah. And then it just completely like shut down. And I was just like, well, did I get it? Did I not get it? So I had some work to do. So I went and did that. And I just left the Switch on and then miraculously Silksong had installed. So it wasn't like the worst thing in the world, but reading across like not just one platform, but Steam, the Nintendo,
someone saying 4
PSN. Yeah, I was playing Metal Gear Solid.
It wasn't even available on PS. It didn't even hit. Like people were like, "Well, where is it?"
Yeah. Well, I was playing Metal Gear Solid like later in the day Thursday, and like there's a notification now when you're playing where Sony will tell you like if PSN is not doing what it's supposed to, and it was like, we're having trouble with PSN. And I'm like, I'm not worried about PSN right now. I'm just playing fucking Metal Gear. And then I was like, read the articles and I was like, that must have been what it was. Like that might have coincided with like the drop when it happened. And it's just insane. It's just insane. It's insane.
I mean, it was the most wishlist game on Steam.
Yeah.
And it launched at a pretty compelling price point for just everyone to be like, and there was some fervor leading up to it, and then it's like $20 and it's just like everyone just fucking wanted to install. And it didn't preload is the other thing. They probably did it to themselves, because I tried to buy the thing like 2 days before and I was like, well the fuck, it can't even like pre-buy it. Like, I can't even buy it.
I checked on Wednesday on the Switch and it wasn't even there. You get, like Hollow Knight, the original was there, but Silksong was not there. That
is a choice, right? Like what is like, I mean, I don't know a lot about running a business. I only have one, but like
I was going
I
to
would,
say, what do you mean?
I
You
would,
own a business.
I would probably be, if someone came to me and they're just like, hey, would you like to take money for this before it comes out or just the day it comes out? I'd probably be like, well, you had me up before. It sounds pretty good, right? Like, I don't understand why.
I don't know. I mean, some questionable choices around the way whether it was Cherry that insisted on these types of things, or if it was just more from the manufacturers. But what I will say is that, like, good on Team Cherry, man. Like, I read that Bloomberg article that Schreier wrote, and just everything about it. Like, I will say that there probably should have been a little bit more transparency around what was going on with development, because I think in the gaming industry, when there's something that's just really, really desired and sought after, and you have relative radio silence from the devs, the initial reaction or your knee-jerk reaction is like, there's trouble in paradise. They're really struggling.
There's really only one example of it not being trouble, and that's at this game.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much exclusively
where they're just
trouble.
like, nah, man, we just, like, we're having fun and we wanted to make this as great as it could be. And, like, we just had a blast making it, and we wanted to, spend 6 years doing that. And, but like the price point, like, there's just no way that you could sell this for you could sell this for $70. You could sell it for $100 and people would buy it like crazy.
That's what I was thinking.
And the fact that they did it for $20 fucking dollars, like, that feels good, man. Like,
I feel like they're gonna sell like 10 million copies this year of this thing.
Oh, it's done. Like, I saw a comparison. Somebody, like, put Claire Obscure, like, total Steam numbers next to Hollow Knights. And, like, while obviously Claire Obscure is a fantastic game and it did really, really well when it initially launched on Steam, the numbers for this thing were just like, oh my God. And I think it was like a fan page for Claire Obscure, and the caption was like, we're so fucking cooked for Game of the Year. Like, we're so fucking cooked. And they're right. They're absolutely right. I mean, I can't speak. I played like 10 minutes of the game. I fought the first boss, and I was like, wow, this is just everything that I loved about the original game.
It's pretty much that. And I have the same feelings. And it's all, I have a hard time seeing myself play a whole lot of anything else between now and the next show. Because as long as that's there and I've got it handheld, I'm already sucked in. It's all I want to do.
We've got Borderlands. Borderlands comes out next week, and I already bought that, so I will check that out and talk about it probably on the next show.
There's a couple of games that haven't got terrible, like Chronos and Hell Is Us. Like, Chronos is from the Silent Hill guys. Like, Blooper team, right? I'm not gonna be playing it anytime soon, but I'm interested in seeing more about it.
I've seen, like, a lot of favorable things with that, but then also some, like, shit where it's just like they played it way too safe with this in terms of, like, survival horror and the way that what you would expect from a survival horror game, which is kind of unfortunate. But, like, it's crazy that they put out a game that quickly after working on Silent Hill 2, and that was a fantastic game. So I want to check that out for sure. But yeah, like, the reality is it's all hands on deck for Silksong. Try to get as far as possible or finish it before the next recording. But what a time to be alive. A lot of bad things in this world. Really, really bleak and grim, being an American right now.
Well, don't watch the news.
We'll just rely on Australia to bring a little bit of joy into our lives.
You just gotta not watch the fucking news, because it's not the way.
No, it is not.
Which is I don't like that, but that's just kind of, I like keep one eye on it, and I'm usually like fully invested in that stuff. But sometimes you're just like, this is bad for my health.
Yeah,
this is not it.
I pay way too much attention to it, and I'm probably a worse person for it.
It's just
also, just gonna say this: these whiskeys, both of them, are fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know which one I like yet. I'm gonna try a little bit more of this one, just because the first sip of this, I was like, oh, it's the Shreks all day long. I'm taking the Shreks. And then the second sip, I was like, I don't know. Like, this is more traditional bourbon, where this is like kind of just its own thing, but it's delicious.
Yeah.
But these are great products. Shout out to Michter's. Wow.
Yeah, they're good stuff. I am happy I got to try both of them. It's a good deal. I was gonna do Metal Gear Solid for the first game we talked about, but we've talked for a bit,
Yeah.
so I'm thinking maybe push that after the break because I
Sure.
have a feeling we're gonna talk for a bit about that.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna talk for something a little shorter, they released a demo for Trails in the Sky, the first one, and because they're remaking that game.
Yeah. It's
I've-
like it's got a weird
First chapter. I
first
think.
chapter. Yeah.
And they just can't name. I mean, that's a fine name, I guess. The originals are even dumber, like SC and F. Like, anyway, they're dumb. But I've talked about the game on the show before. I've played through that first one, and I was extremely high on it. It had a high difficulty level, had a pretty deep combat system, and the story was pretty fantastic with great characters across the board. This is just a remake of that, but you're kind of getting a fully 3D world, so it's pretty compelling.
But different combat system, right?
Ish.
Some changes.
So yeah, because in the first one, it really functioned how we're pretty used to in these turn-based games, where you can go and get one hit in and get advantage if you hit them in the back or something. Like on the open world, you can see the enemies. It's pretty common. And in this one, it's quite a bit different, and it you can completely take care of the mobs. Some of the mobs out there that you maybe don't want to go into turn-based, you can take care of them out in the field, just with attacking, dodging. There's some combos. There's a few different things. It's not super deep.
So more like Tell series little bit,
just a little more action oriented that you can really maybe it's just a little more, but it's lacking the depth. Absolutely, like the depth isn't there in that moment. But
was that in the first game?
No.
Okay.
In the first game, it was hit them in the back, you get advantage. They hit you, you're just like
original,
Persona.
I guess, yeah.
So like this one, you can go and you can like you're like, oh, that's one dude. I'm not going into turn based. We're just gonna fucking kill him. It's fine. But the way this works is if you stun them, they have a stun gauge, so you got to hit them a few times, and then you're kind of dodging. And there's ways to kind of increase that. And then if you stun them, and then you just push X at any time, it goes into turn based.
Yeah.
So you kind of have control of when you enter into that state, and you can stun more than one. So it's kind of fun. It's not what you're going to talk about. Like, it's an interesting way to approach this, but that turn base is still where it's at. And you're not fighting bosses in that action mode. You're always going to end up still in a turn-based system, which is extremely similar to all the first game. And then, which is a really good system. It's a system I like a lot. So it's a lot of fun. Immediately I was like, yep, I've played this. I understand how we're going to like be upgrading these as we go through. So that made me feel really good. And this is a free demo of the entire first prologue, which is not an hour. Like some people spend 9 hours on this thing.
Me. I'm that guy.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I'm the same, because you're going to do all of the side quests and everything. I think it's a really good idea for them to have just put this out there and say, look, it's free. You're really going to be able, like, if anyone's on the fence, you will understand whether you want to buy this game. It is not a small like snapshot of this thing.
All right.
And I'm almost done with the prologue, but I've just been going slow, especially because I know that there's nothing to rush through. Like, I'm done. This game comes out in another
September 19th
week, so 10 days or so.
Yeah.
So probably the show after that, I would be playing it more. But everything's good. My only complaint is this character Estelle. She's pretty fiery. She has some pretty great, fantastic lines in the first one that are not voice acted, and this game is voice acted.
Right.
And I don't love she is very anime young girl voice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what I had in my head.
That's an interesting thing.
It's like when you read a book and then you watch the movie and you're like, oh no, what'd you do?
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happened.
Well, yeah. And like Final Fantasy, the remakes, that's a perfect example of that, right? Which I think, to be fair, they did a great job with the voice cast for the remakes of those games. Like nobody is like grading or anything like that. But when you have this when there's no dialogue, like voice acted dialogue in a game, you are naturally going to like make an internal voice in your head. And if that doesn't mesh or match up with what you have in your head, that's problematic. So I get that for sure.
I mean, there's really good examples in like books to movies where it's either gone well or not well. Like in Game of Thrones, everyone in the world knew that Peter Dinklage was Tyrion before. Like he got that he was cast in that role because everyone that read the book was like, well, it's that guy. Everyone knows it's that guy, and they just like
He fucking killed that role too.
and
It's a role of a lifetime.
Oh, he did a perfect job, and it was literally like the message boards or whatever. Everyone was just like at a fervor. That's just like, you have to get him.
I would argue that is the best character in the TV show. My favorite character.
Yeah, he's the best. He's
fantastic.
He is the most well-written character in the books. I only watched like 3 seasons of the show.
You gotta watch more. Besides the last season. The last season is absolute. Well, until the end, like the very end of the last season. The last season's good until the very end, and then it's just not satisfying.
So I watched until they were gonna catch up to the books, and then I was like, well, surely if I just wait a year, he'll release the book, and then I can circle back. And that was like 5 years ago, and he still hasn't released the book. So it's
I gotta say, one of the greatest scenes in television history, in my humble opinion, is the snow fight between the White Walkers and Jon Snow and the not the Night Watch. Is that what they're
I think it's the Night Watch.
Okay, the Night Watch.
I think that's what they're called.
And they're just they escape narrowly by the skin of their teeth, and Snow and a couple of his, comrades are floating off on this ice float, and Snow locks eyes with the main White Walker, and there's just this like incredible music. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it right now. It is so fucking epic, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that big bad of the Walkers.
Yeah,
has never been in the book.
Really?
Doesn't exist. I don't know if he's supposed to eventually, but he's never been in the book.
That's an effective character. I mean, he's a silent antagonist, but goddamn, he is fucking super scary. And there's like a couple of them. It's not just him, but he's the one that is like most prominently featured in the show.
Too bad they dropped the ball on that whole thing, but
yeah. So this is good. But I mean, I was gonna play this any way you cut it. We talked about it, I think, last show. I'm very excited for this thing because I love the Trail series from what I played. You have a little bit more experience than I do in it. But everything that I played, I just think that like and it's probably this is going to be a drastic departure from the Cold Steel series. Yeah. But the Cold Steel series, I think, like, honestly, set aside like the weird, Japanese idiosyncrasies that we've talked ad nauseum about at this point in time. I think that the character building in those games is second to none.
Yeah, there isn't.
It's like a non-important character that might be in your party. You're gonna get so much backstory on those characters, and a lot of it's really good. Mm-hmm. It's well written. They've got really like believable backstories. It's just fantastic. So I'm looking forward to like starting at the beginning. And then in 25 years, I can come to this podcast and be like, I finished them all, and I'll tell you about the whole fucking arc of all of it.
It's a pretty incredible thing that they're doing over there. But from everything I've seen with this prologue, and I mean, I can clearly see where this is going. I'm like, they've done it. This thing's going to be great. I don't know how they could drop the ball because I've played enough that's just like, well, you already have the story. So I know, and they're they are pretty much note for note. This is the story. This is not a Final Fantasy VII deal. They're not trying to put a different spin on any of this. Yeah, even the quests are basically, I think they're the same. I think they're like the side quests and stuff is all the same stuff. So
cool.
Very impressed.
You said the story is good.
Oh yeah,
you finished the
only the
game.
First one of Sky. Yeah, I finished the first.
And there's a sequel, right?
There's 3 total.
And I think that the plan for Falcom, if I'm not mistaken, is to remake at least those first 3 games.
Yeah, they just had a quote out where they were like, "We understand that people would be extremely mad if we weren't obviously making the second one." Like, because like you can't do that. So
yeah.
they'll just keep doing this, which is a really
Which sucks because then I'm going to play this one and then it's going to
and-
be like, how long is it going to be? I mean, to be fair, Falcom pumps out shit pretty at a pretty good clip. So hopefully it won't be that long, but
but
yeah.
I'm in the same boat where like I don't want. I liked playing like that overhead version with the sprites,
Yeah.
but if I know that the 3D version's coming in within 3 years ish, I'm just like I don't want to go and play it, so I'll just wait.
Mhm.
I guess I'd be more likely to go finish Cold Steel 3,
Yeah.
because those ones don't necessarily need this treatment.
We've
So-
got another one that's coming out next year as well.
Well, it's every year. If you follow the series, it's all you have to play. You can play one of these every year.
Right. I've got it pre-ordered. I'll tell you what it is. Bear with me for a second while I pull it up. I think it's in the timeline of like the most
Yeah.
recent timeline.
Daybreak or something. Or
It
Dawn?
is the name of it is Trails Beyond the Horizon. And that I think it's following the cast from Daybreak. And that comes out in 2026. So it just is
it's,
never ending.
It's very good. I was just really I'd like to maybe see more of these demos that are this kind of intense. It's like you can really just come and find out if you like this thing. So
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good idea. But let's
This is
take
the first demo we've ever talked about on this show.
Probably. I mean, yeah.
Somebody might know.
I don't yeah, because we never touch. We barely even touch early access or anything.
Yeah.
Before we go to break, are we gonna get Hades 2 this year? They said. I don't think they.
I don't think that they have been transparent on what is happening. I mean, I've been keeping track of it. I haven't bought it yet. I will obviously buy it when it comes out of early access, but it's got to be, those guys they make some pretty crazy updates pretty quickly. So I think that it's possible we maybe see it holiday.
Maybe.
If not, it's 2026 for sure.
Yeah, it's not gonna be 2 years. It's not gonna be more than 2 years.
Very, very excited for that. I'm really looking forward to that.
All right, let's take a break and we'll come back and talk about Metal Gear Solid 3. Okay, we're back. You decide yet which one you're taking, or you're just gonna keep mulling it over?
Yeah, I need to try the Shreks a little bit more. I feel like the Bomb Burgers is fantastic, but it is very traditional bourbon, and I think that the Shanks
is
a little bit more unique and just kind of its own thing. Again, you just don't see the sour mash thing a lot in bourbon. So yeah.
All right. Well, they Konami has remade. I guess that's just what they do now. Like they remade Silent Hill 2, and now they've released Metal Gear Solid 3.
There's a new game coming out this year from Konami. Silent Hill F.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm like cautiously optimistic for it, right?
They showed it off at Gamescom. People seem to really enjoy it. I think that probably is going to be the game for October.
When does it come out?
October. I think it's like early October. So I think that'll be our Halloween game.
That's 2 in a row, right? Yeah. I mean,
2 Silent Hills.
Because
and this one I honestly think is more exciting because it's a new entry in the Silent Hill series.
For sure.
Unless it reviews like terribly, and then I'm not going to put us through that, obviously.
I think you should put us through it either way.
We'll see. We'll see.
It's not the same team, obviously, so I guess you don't fully know, but I don't know. They've been doing some pretty good stuff, and with this, I have played Metal Gear Solid 3, this remake, but not very much. So mainly I've just watched movies.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole game, but it's for sure the first few hours of the game.
Not the whole game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I built a shiny new PC, so I was pretty excited to kind of load it up. And if you want to watch cutscenes, there's a lot of them, and I'm not really knocking it for that. I like this stuff. I like the Metal Gear Solid stories. Like I'm super into all that shit.
Yeah.
So I enjoy every minute of it. My only issue is that I just don't have the time in my life for what this game is doing with cutscenes and not being able to save. because they're very long.
Yeah.
We're not talking 2 minutes and then you'll be able to save. Some of these are maybe 20 minutes
Close,
of
for sure.
that you cannot save.
Yeah.
And I have legitimately had to quit and go do my life stuff and then watch it again because I come back and have to restart it. And that's a little frustrating, but
It's the downside to not having like a
It's-
sleep mode.
yeah, for sure.
But Steam needs to figure that out.
And that's just my situation, I guess, that I'm, if you lock me in and say I can't save for long periods of time, that really does not work with my life situation. So if you're wondering why I like the 100 line so much, you can save at any moment, any moment of the game, you could just say save it. So that's a little unfortunate. My before I like hand this off to you, I'm going to keep playing this a little bit because I really want to get through this. I've only played 1 and 2 and then a lot of 5. I had not finished 5. I had a great time. I think that's a great game. The Phantom Pain, but
really goddamn good game.
But I would like to get through this. I've tried before and I bounced, but I'm kind of already further than I got before. My only complaint from what I've played in the limited time is that it's still a little clunky, and I wish it was a little less clunky for a remake that looks really good. And when you're moving the character around, I was kind of like, what? Like, he's tanky. Like he's just a little square, a little awkward to move around, and that's really my main input. Is that's kind of a bummer. I wish it just felt a little better to play.
100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, we talked about it a little bit. I think the last time that we recorded, but I am just just from a nostalgia standpoint, this thing came out, I believe, in 2004. So I was 15 years old.
You love this one.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I played it at release when it came out and was just so into it. I thought that it was the best Metal Gear Solid game up to that point. Not anymore. I think 5 is far superior in pretty much every way except for Kiefer Sutherland being the fucking being Snake.
It can't be every way. The story in 5 is not up to par.
After finished this after playing through this game. I don't know if that is necessarily accurate.
All right.
As an adult playing through this thing, there is just a lot here where I'm like, huh? What the fuck do you mean? What?
Good. So how much? I guess if you hadn't played it in 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years.
So like your memory probably. I mean, you probably didn't.
Quite literally 20 years.
So you're probably like you remember the game, but not to what? I guess you probably had plenty of surprises. I guess.
Not necessarily surprises because I've got a memory like a steel trap.
Sure.
So I can definitely remember a lot of like the main beats, but like individual dialogue, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Something to note here, which is a little disappointed. David Hayter, who has played Snake forever,
everything except Phantom Pain.
Exactly. Right? Phantom Pain, and then that like DLC, what before Phantom Pain,
the lead in, but that was still MGS5.
Yeah, for sure. But they released it separately, and like it came out a year or two before the proper game came out, which was weird.
They needed money.
Yeah.
But
yeah, David Hayter is like, he's just got such an iconic voice, dude. Like, is it a realistic voice? Absolutely not. It is the most ridiculously stylized and over the top delivery, but it just is just pure nostalgia to me, and I absolutely love his voice, and it's just really hard. I mean, to be fair, Kiefer Sutherland did a fine job as Snake.
He had 9 words for the game, and he put his heart into it.
Yeah,
and he just killed the 9 lines he had, because I mean he barely spoke in that. So,
but David Hayter, there's a lot of dialogue in the earlier MGS games. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure,
like a ton.
Like he talks. I mean, from just playing through 1 and 2, he's Got a lot to say.
He does. And man, he's just, I mean, it's just an iconic voice. And I wish David Hayter did more work. I know that it's not, he kind of takes a backseat to like Troy Baker or Nolan North nowadays, but Hayter is still kept busy. Like you can go and look at his
Snake as Joel.
yeah. You can go look at his.
What are you doing?
That's pretty good, man. Oh man, you should sell your company and try. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so from that perspective, like this thing's, I mean, not just from that perspective, but all perspectives, this thing is like incredibly nostalgic to me. But I agree with you. It is kind of a bummer that this game is at, I mean, and we're talking about, I assume you're using the more modern control scheme.
I
said ask you at the beginning.
And which is, you have a lot of options, which I think it certainly can't be that different between all the different options.
Yeah.
Because it's like, which Metal Gear game do you like? And I just said 5. That one.
Right.
So then in my head, and that's why I immediately brought up that it's clunky, because I was like, did you not see when I picked 5? Like, what? This doesn't.
And I was like, I like all of them, because that's an option as well.
It's just a little tough. The other thing that I noticed right away was as you run around, I assume that they were memory strapped, but like the areas are pretty small, and then it's just like, oh, you're loading into the next screen.
Yeah.
And you didn't travel very far, and they still did that here. And I get it, like it's true to the original, but sometimes you're just like, would you just make the map like 4 times bigger and stop showing me travel? Like it's just weird.
So right? I mean, this is the big statement to make about this entire experience, and we can talk about like some of the specifics, but it's a choice, and I don't necessarily hate the choice to make this as
1 for 1.
I mean, it is 1 for 1 to the original game, with just like the most extreme makeover you could possibly imagine from a visual perspective. The game looks really nice. It's a Unreal Engine 5, I believe, that they use for this thing, so it looks gorgeous, and it really pops. There's just a lot going on screen visually where you're like, yeah, this thing looks great. But you run into issues when we're talking about what I want to play in 2025. I'm not 15 years old anymore. I've experienced a lot of crazy things in gaming since then, right? And coming back to this thing, while it is incredibly nostalgic, I'm also like, I don't know if I love the choice. Like, this maybe is the most beloved, like, of the original trilogy of games. This is probably the most beloved version, or entry, I should say. And so, like, if you're gonna do it, I feel like you do it and you remake this thing from the ground up and make it a little bit more compelling to like a modern audience, because when you're playing this thing, man, you're like, this is old school as fuck. Like, it feels old school, even with this modernized control scheme. I did not go and try the old control scheme because I was like, I don't really like the way that Snake controls now. So
sure.
If I don't want to make this worse on myself, so I haven't done that yet. But
I think an issue is we have examples of remakes that they've done a very good job of.
100%.
And that is a problem when you're like, well, we remade it. And it's like, yeah, you did, but like, you didn't Silent Hill to it. You didn't Resident Evil 2. And from my understanding is like that Dead Space one was pretty well received. And people said, hey, they added some things. They made this thing really good. And they didn't do that.
No.
And that's like, but like I said, it's a choice.
Typical Konami.
It's a choice, but also it's just like, man, I wish this thing just functioned a little differently.
I will also say that if you're like,
it's not typical Konami. Silent Hill 2 exists. It was 1 year ago. You know what I mean? Like they just did it right.
I guess that's true. But Konami like kind of outsourced that game too,
for sure,
to Bloober. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure this was internal.
Yeah.
They like pulled a team of like sad people that were
Pachinko
working on
makers.
slot machines, and they were like, "Hey, you motherfuckers, you want to do something that's worthy of your time?" And they're all like, "Yeah, absolutely. Like, you can only do so much with these pachinko machines." But yeah, I don't know. I'm torn. I'm torn on this thing because I've enjoyed, like, it was just super nostalgic. It was like going back in time, really.
How long was this?
I finished it in 15 hours.
Okay, that's not that. That makes me want to finish it even more because that's
Yeah.
super doable.
Yeah, for sure. It's not, I mean, for a completionist run, like getting all the little frogs and ducks that you shoot and shit like that, you're probably going to be like 20, 25 hours. And that's doing everything, getting all of the costumes, like scouring the map to find all of the different camouflage and things like that. But yeah, if you just want to like do a more casual run, it's a pretty quick game for sure. So which is to one of its strengths in my opinion, especially because I'm busy as fuck right now.
Sure.
But yeah, so okay, let's just talk about Metal Gear Solid 3 as just a game, right? And where Kojima was at in his process of becoming this visionary game developer, right? And I think there are some things here where I'm like, I am not on board with this in 2025. I probably wouldn't have been on board with this in 2010, just because it's just so antiquated in a lot of ways.
Oh, so
It just doesn't feel super compelling to play as like a 35-year-old. I was thinking about this to myself. I was like, I don't know. You put me in the shoes of 25-year-old Jared. I'd probably be a lot more high, so that's fair. Maybe I would be well, not probably, definitely be a lot more high. So maybe I would appreciate it more.
what's the I mean, is there a specific thing that you're referencing though?
Like not specifically anything. I just think like across the board, it's just the dumbest, stupidest, most ridiculous thing. And
it just didn't age well. It didn't age well with like what?
Yes and no, you know? Like, so okay, I'll put it this way in terms of some of the things that I think aged incredibly well. There are so many ways to, for lack of a better term, break this game that are intentional from Kojima. And I think that that's brilliant. So, for instance, this is the best thing that you can describe, which I do not recommend that you do this. Anybody that's never played this game before and has any desire to do so.
Sure.
But the boss fights in this game are probably the highlight. They're just fairly unique. But there's a boss called the End in this game. And he's like this little old man, and he's got a parrot on his shoulder. And the boss fight is the coolest boss fight in the game by far, by far. And it really relies on, he hides in grass and he's a sniper and you don't really know where he's at. You kind of track him down in this environment and kill him. And it's really compelling. But there is a sequence that is pretty far away from when you actually would encounter the End, where you can go, there's like a branching path where you can go one way or the other way. And if you go left in this scenario, you get an SVD sniper rifle. And then if you go back after you get the sniper rifle and go back to where there is like a predetermined cutscene where the big baddie in the game wheels out the End on this platform. If you have that sniper rifle, you can just shoot the End and kill him. And then you don't fight him. And this is not a new thing. This was in the original game, right? And so,
I mean, that's awesome.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
When we're talking about a game that came out in 2004, that Kojima was like, let's just.
It's awesome when there is a well choreographed boss fight already built, and you could basically break it and
completely circumnavigate it.
Yeah, I shot that guy. He's dead. You don't have to worry about that. You could do it and never know.
Exactly.
Like you would just be like, oh yeah. Oh, we fight him later.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you were playing it through for the first time, there's just a lot of mechanics in the game that are just insane. So a large part, if anybody that doesn't know anything about this, like you're dropped into this jungle in fucking Russia, which makes no sense because do they have a lot of jungles? I mean, it's a pretty big country, so maybe they do.
I think they have probably everything.
Yeah, maybe it's a pretty
massive.
large. Yeah. I haven't heard a lot about Russian
The
jungles.
tropics. Maybe not a lot of beaches. Are there Russian beaches?
Yeah, there are. There
Okay.
definitely are Russian beaches for sure. But anyways, one of the core tenets of this game is like very light. When we're comparing it to like 2025 survival, it's not one for one. Really, it's like the beginning of survival. And you can credit Kojima for maybe being one of the people that started this whole fucking thing.
Yeah, it's a long time ago that this
Where
came out.
you have a health meter, and then you also have a stamina bar, and the stamina bar is actively declining at all times.
Mhm.
And it will decline quicker depending on what you're doing, but the baseline, it's always declining, which requires you to eat flora and fauna in the environment. And it's pretty funny the way that it works, because you'll just see a snake on the ground, and then you CQC them, CQC, and you just fucking like swing. Like, it's hilarious because the snakes slither on the ground, and if you want to conserve ammo, like the first two CQC movements are just snake punching the air, and then he does this like judo fucking kick thing,
So
and
stupid.
you kick the snake and it dies, and then it turns into food. You can also capture animals as well,
and then throw them at enemies.
True. Yes, you can do these types of things, but that's a core tenet of the game. But there are also things that can make you very, very sick, right? So for instance, there's poison dart frogs that you get. I don't think that there's poison dart frogs in Russia. I'm pretty sure that's like an Amazonian, South American thing. Maybe I'm wrong. If you're a fucking Russia savant, I don't know why you are, but tell me if I'm wrong. But anyways, you can get these poison dart frogs, and you don't know at the beginning, like, there's flavor text on any animal that you capture or kill that will tell you, like, basically Snake's internal monologue. And he's like, I ate this and it tasted terrible and I wouldn't do it again, basically. Or if it's something that he ate, that you've ate, that like helped your stamina and refilled your stamina quite a bit, he'll be like, this tasted delicious. Or it was like,
Sure.
which I think is weird that rats, which, like, I don't want to eat a rat, but he likes rats.
He's super into them.
So it's like the rats will be, they're not like gonna fill your bar completely, but if you eat a rat, he's like, that wasn't too bad. And I'm like, really? That's fucking weird. But anyways, so if you eat these certain animals, it's not just poison dart frogs, you'll get food poisoning, right? And that will completely start draining your stamina bar. And if you get to very, very low stamina, Snake sucks even worse than he does just at his baseline with his like clunky movement and things like that. There's a lot of penalties for it. But Kojima programmed it into the way so there's this screen where you can go into, if you just like hit the in the case of
to cure yourself.
Yes.
Yeah,
you can also take
for broken bones, like really quick in the game. You get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you got to save yourself, and you got to pick a bunch of things. You're just like, you got to sew yourself up. You're bleeding and bandage and all that stuff. That's fine.
Yeah. It's very basic when you compare it to like things that we have now. Sure. But at the time, 2004, it's pretty wild if you think about it that way. But anyways, there's just like this home screen basically that shows just a silhouette of Snake on the left-hand side of the screen. And you can move him, you can rotate him with the right stick, right? And so it's like, you get a lot of camouflage in this game. And so you can like spin him around and like be like, oh, he looks really cool. But you can also just continually spin him around and spin him around and spin him around and spin him around. And if you had food poisoning, spinning him around will make him vomit. And he'll just, he just like blows chugs.
It's weird.
And that cures your food poisoning. Like, things like that he thought of back in 2004. It's just crazy. There's just so much weird shit like that. And when you look at it from that perspective, you're like, dude, this is nuts. And also, like, this game is very linear in its execution. The big story beats, I highlighted the end as like one of the bigger ones where you can just completely do away with that boss fight. There's probably 3 to 4 ways to approach any situation in this game, right? There might be the most obvious choice, but there's probably 3 or 4 other choices that you are either going to discover organically by just playing the game, or you're going to go online and find out like all these crazy ways that you can get through a scenario. And it's not as simple as just like you can kill these guys or you can sneak by them. You know, it's not that. Like there's a lot of weird mechanics that he just thought of at the time. And I think it's fucking brilliant from that perspective, especially because I mean this thing is so old and he just, you know, did it all back in the day and it's here now. And so
There's a reason they were as popular as they were. Like even when I played 1 and 2, and you look at the date they were made, you're
right.
just like, this is
Yeah, I mean
good Lord.
the best like historical example is Psycho Mantis, him reading your memory card in your PlayStation and
Yeah, move
telling
it
you
to
like
player.
you like playing
Oh, yeah.
Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And at the time, that was nuts that like that was a thing that they thought of and they implemented. It was just a really brilliant idea.
It was Psycho Mantis. You had to move it to the second port. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Just like crazy shit like that. And it's here. Like there's just so much that you can do. I ran into something earlier today while I was finishing it up. There's a sequence where you get locked in a prison cell. And I didn't know this, but I was like, I've got to move later and I'm just trying to get done with this thing. So I want to just know how to get out of this prison cell because I don't remember. And the dude that was in the video was like, you probably know that there is like this weird mini game that shows up if you save your game in the prison cell and then exit out of the game and then come back into the game. And I was like, no, I didn't know that at all.
About?
And so I did it. And there is just a straight up random, surprisingly good hack and slash action mini game that has nothing to do with Snake or anything like that. You're playing as this character that's got these giant blades on his hands, and you're in a graveyard, and all these zombies start coming out of the ground, and you just have to kill these zombies, and then a vampire shows up, and like it's very simple and easy to do, but you're like, I want to do a little bit more research on it. Was it like a game that Kojima wanted to do at the time and it didn't really pan out? And this was like kind of a fuck you to Konami,
Probably.
that he put this in here. But like it's just a dream sequence. And it only happens if you save, back out of the game, relaunch the game.
That's crazy.
In this jail cell. And then it just shows up and then you finish it. And then Snake is like, well, that was a weird dream. And, and then you're just back where you were before.
We get a lot of incredible innovation and just really unique games. We just do. But I don't know how you ever replace Kojima games because it's just there's something about them and even I mean I like some of them and some of them I have a hard time getting fully on board with, but it's just like they're so unique that you just don't want to ever lose that, and you can't. It's hard to ever imagine someone else really fully replacing him or just like being quite what he does, which is too bad because he's not young. I mean.
Pushing 60.
Couple more games, you know, maybe, and then he'll give his USB drive to the people under him, and they'll keep making the games.
He his like right hand man.
But I one other thing I just wanted to know is I texted you about it. It's just like it's just kind of funny and a little game breaking, but it's just like you're out there, you're in the grass, you're on your stomach and trying to like no one you don't want anybody to see you. You're like, well, I better save, and you like have these people you can call on the radio at any moment if you're playing the game and save the game, or you can just talk to them. But you are like hiding and in a tense situation, and you're just like, hey, paramedic. That's a stupid name, but whatever. She's like, do you want to save? I'm like, yeah. And then you save, and then she's just like, hey, Snake, you like movies? And you're like, what? And she's like, I like Godzilla. Have you seen Godzilla? And he's like, like, what the fuck is going on here? And it's not like, it's like a minute of her just being like, it's crazy and it's going to win a lot of awards. And you're like, what are we doing? I just wanted to save my game and you're just, leave me alone, you weirdo.
Well, it's beautiful because like Kojima, I'm pretty sure he's been in the Criterion Closet, which I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like the Criterion Collection is like a collection of like the most sought after, desirable indie films. So not
Okay.
even necessarily indie films, but really like lauded films. And what they do every so often is they'll take like a celebrity and they'll be like, they've got all of the Criterion Collection movies. And then they just have a celebrity like pick their favorite ones and talk about why they like them. And I'm pretty sure Kojima did one of those
Huh.
because he's just a diehard film fan. So it makes sense that that's in it, and that doesn't end.
I,
Like if you and whenever you save the
every
game,
time.
she is going to come on and talk to you about another movie from the
But
time period, and like
I just try
it's kind
to
of endearing.
I try to imagine it in current terms.
Yeah.
So more just like, hey, I'd like to say it's like, hey, you seen Stranger Things? That's crazy, right? Winona Ryder's in that show. And you're just like, what? What?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
No.
I'm trying to stay alive, lady. Leave me alone.
It's just there's a lot of stuff that you can do with your communication device. There are things that
Hidden stuff you can go find.
Oh, yeah.
At least I have not done it on 3, but in 1 and 2, you could go and find lore dumps and things
Yep.
by just using your ham radio,
Yeah.
essentially.
it's a brilliant thing when you look at it through the lens of like, okay, this has got a fresh coat of paint, like incredibly fresh coat of paint. But all of the things that made this thing great back in the day are here. But if you're coming into it expecting it to be this modern experience, this is just not it. Like, and
Which
like
is too bad.
it is and it isn't. Like
I think it's too bad because fandom pain exists. I think that's my biggest problem.
Yeah.
My biggest problem is I'm just like, a good controlling version exists out there.
Yeah.
And that should have been brought here.
And the idea, like the potential for this thing to just be like a fully open world, like within the jungles and shit like that. Advance the survival mechanics because they're very basic here, very, very basic. Implement some things that we kind of come to know when it comes to like these survival mechanics, and you could have had like an incredibly compelling experience. This thing is a really good time though still, and I'm still a big fan of the source material. I love that this is a thing. I think the story overall, like, you know, we talked about it at the beginning. There's some really, really stupid things in this game where you're just like, I didn't remember this, but there's like this well, I don't even know if it's tongue in cheek. It's pretty explicit. But Volkov, who is the big baddie in this game, who I think sucks quite a bit. I think that he's not particularly compelling as an adult. When I was a kid, I was like, this guy's badass. But now I'm like, this guy kind of sucks and is just like very surface level and vapid. But there's a sequence towards the end of the game where you infiltrate where the Shagohod is, which is like the early version of a Metal Gear.
Okay.
Because this is like in this game takes place in the 60s.
This is the first one.
Yeah, like the Cold War. And so the Metal Gear has not been developed, which anybody that doesn't know anything about Metal Gear, it's just like a nuclear equipped giant bipedal mech that fucks shit up. And there's a lot of them in the Metal Gear series, but Shagohod is like the father of all of the Metal Gears. So it's a little bit more basic in its execution, the way that it works. But Volkov is like trying to make it a thing, and that's why you're there, to stop like nuclear holocaust basically. But you infiltrate the base where Shagohod is stored, and one of the things you have to do is you have to take out a Russian officer that looks wildly similar to Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 2. And this is not like a coincidence, because you can either kill this officer or you can knock him out, and then you take him to this locker room and you put him in a locker, and the poster on the wall in the locker is just Raiden, and it just says Metal Gear Solid 2,
Okay.
Sons of Liberty.
It's
and
weird.
You're like, okay, so I'm just Raiden right now, right? But once you get this costume and you look like Raiden in a KGB uniform, Volkov shows up, and he knows that you're not who you're trying to be. And the way that he knows as he walks up to you and he just grabs Snake's cock. He just walks up and he just grabs him by the balls.
Great.
And he's like, he holds his balls for a second. And there's like a little bit of pause. And he lets his balls go. And he's like, I know that you're not who you say you are. And there has been like wild, rampant speculation that like Volkov and this guy were like lovers. And I'm pretty sure that that's the case. But it's hilarious. But I was also like, this just comes out of left field. This like this very serious situation. And then Volkov just walks up and grabs Snake's balls. And you're like, what is happening right now?
It's just hilarious to be like, hey, I think I know that guy.
Yeah, I know that dick.
I fucked that guy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go check.
I would know that penis
it's not
anywhere.
The guy. No.
Yeah. It's very strange. And there's a lot of very strange shit in this where you're just like, all right, man, like this is cool, but I don't know. I don't know, Kojima. So yes, did I enjoy this? Yes, I did. I absolutely did. Do I recommend this game?
Depends
if you
where
played
you're
the
at.
first game, if you played the original game, yes, I do recommend this. Go back, especially if you haven't played any of the multitude of re-releases that have came out since 2004 of this game. This is the best version of this game. But is this going to win? Is this going to be on my Game of the Year list? Absolutely not. It's not close. But I will say that I'm happy that I like went back and had this like weird frolicking fun in my past. But I think that the story is generally pretty stupid and it does not necessarily hold up. What I will say though,
does the story hold up in any Metal Gears?
Well, I haven't played 1 or 2 in a really long time, so I can't say that. What I will say is that when I played 2, when I was probably, I don't know, 11 or 12, even I, dumb little Jared, was like, when it's like, this is all a simulation and weird.
And it goes real south.
And I'm like, huh? What the fuck do you mean? Like, I've just been spending like hours on end fucking shooting seagulls off of the fucking oil rig that I'm on. And which was my favorite thing, just killing seagulls. So like, I just love doing that. It was endless fun. I would tell my little cousin, like, come over here and watch me fucking first person shoot this fucking seagull off of this ledge. Man, we change. But no, I don't know. I don't know the answer. But what I will say is I will take this over what the fuck is going on with Kojima in current day. Okay. 100%. It's just a little bit more digestible. Like it's still weird.
I think I agree. In just what I've played, like I like to be a little more grounded. And this is always, it's just like high level government conspiracy stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm super into it. Like I really liked the first 3 Splinter Cells because they are not.
Those are great games.
They're not like at this. The storytelling is different.
That first Splinter Cell game,
but like,
goddamn,
I really like those games. I like the intrigue. I generally like the story in those games. I thought they were pretty good. I wish they would make more of them, because it's just like that shit's fun. Like I'm some government super agent, and it's not just a Call of Duty type thing. Like that's really compelling to me. So
yeah,
I would like to see more of it, and I just don't know that I trust Ubisoft to ever pull it off. But like,
well, there's been rumors that they were going to do it, and like pretty substantiated rumors that they had something in development for the Splinter Cell series, and we'll see.
Seems like an underhand to make money if they can do it right, but
yeah, I don't know, man. Right. I'll just say like Kojima is Kojima, and he's going to Kojima and do weird shit. I just came off of fucking playing, and this was like a great kind of comparison because I just finished Death Stranding 2 not that long ago.
Sure, you can see what 20 years does to a person.
I don't like what I see.
Okay, you played a lot of Death Stranding. I think you liked that game a lot.
No, I love Death Stranding. I think it's a fantastic game, and that's going to be on my Game of the Year list somewhere.
But the storytelling's a problem, or the narrative.
Yes and yes. It just doesn't resonate with me I
I don't
saw.
know who it resonates. I don't think there's a lot
Well,
of
that's what I was
people.
gonna
I
say.
don't think
Like,
there's a lot of people out there. They're just like, you know what?
I don't know.
Give me that DS lore. Like that's
Minus
not.
Minus just fucking finished it. Longtime friend of the program, and he seemed to enjoy it. I don't know. Maybe tell us if you think that I'm crazy and you were like, I totally got everything that happened at the end of Death Stranding 2. Because I'm gonna tell you, it's a visual spectacle and it is very cool from that perspective. And also, I think you posted in the Discord, you were like, "Holy fuck!" Like that was a wild ride. I agree with all of that, but like, did you understand any of it or most of it? Because I sure fucking didn't. I thought that it was just like a LSD induced fever dream more than anything else. And so it's just like I don't know. And so, but when you compare what was going on back then with him to what's going on now, I'm like, might have been all right if you would have just stuck with Konami and just like pumped these out.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know, man.
kind of agree. Maybe, perhaps.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bummer. Do you want to talk about Shinobi? Did you? I don't know how much you played it. We briefly talked that we both played a little bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
I have not. I mean, I'm on like 4 missions or something. So
Fucking Year of the Ninja, Nick.
it's.
So I've just played
apparently.
fucking Ninja Gaiden,
And
Ragebound, and loved that.
and Ghost of Yotai comes out by the end of
Yeah,
the month. So
yeah,
I'm not very excited about that, but
me either. I'm not. I'm sure it'll be fine,
sure.
but or good. But like, it's not really. You know why I don't like it? It's because a woman is the protagonist. No, that's a complete joke. I just like I don't know. I like my tolerance for like open world, like check
Sure.
boxes on this big map and find shrines and stuff like that. I just am so limited with that kind of stuff. I did platinum the original game and I did really, really like it. One of the most beautiful games that's ever been made. So
Well, we'll see what else is out when it comes out, and then I'll decide. But
October 2nd, I believe, is that when that
Okay.
comes out.
so Shinobi's kind of interesting. I picked it up just kind of randomly. I was like, it was literally, I think it was the day before Silk Song came out, and I was just like, I want to play something. I'd already like done 5 endings on 100 line, so I was like, I've checked that box for this week's quota, and then so I grabbed that, and I was like pleasantly surprised. It's not I don't know that it's a game of the year material or anything like that, but it's a lot of fun to play. This is like a side scrolling. What do you want to call this? Like
It's
an action.
more like a Metroidvania, like in some weird ways as well, from what I played.
It's just that it's level based, but there's a lot of secrets within the levels.
Yes,
There's a
that's
lot
what
of,
I'm saying.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
incentive to go back to some of these levels. The At the end of the day, it's just very fast. It's very fun to play.
The combat's great.
And like I just as I was cruising through it, I probably played it for twice as much time as I intended to because I was just having a good time, and I got to ride my little Shinobi dog thing. It was like a bonus stage thing. It was pretty fun. Generally, I was like, man, at a different time, I would probably finish this game. I don't know that I will, but
Completely different vibe in comparison to Ninja Gaiden. 100% different. This is more like combo string based combat where Ninja Gaiden was like most enemies died within a couple of hits.
sure.
So this is more like you can launch an enemy in the air and then jump up to them, do a bunch of cool hits on them. And then Shinobi's got a dive kick in this game, which is fantastic. I fucking love dive kicks all the way around. If it's in a fighting game, I love a dive kick. If it's in a game like this, I just love the dive kick. And you can do that, and the momentum of like if an enemy still has health, when you dive them into the ground, they'll bounce back into the ground. And if you're skilled enough, you can jump back in the air and continue to juggle them. It's really got like the combat has impressed me immensely. I am very early. I fought the first boss, which is like this like ethereal ape thing, and that's as far as I've gotten. So I can't really speak on like the totality of the game, but what I played, man, I don't know. I was like kind of thinking about it. I was like, do I like this more than Ragebound, which I really liked a lot? They're different things for sure, but I don't know. This is more my jam, I feel like, in the grand scheme of things, just in relation to the combat.
I think it's worth checking out. It's a hard sell for me to be like, I'm gonna keep playing it because I probably have 40 hours or 30 hours, whatever it's gonna take for me to get enough out of Silk Song on this
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But the games are good, and we're heading into probably good months of plenty of releases coming out for a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna get a little interesting towards the latter half of the year. We get into fall and winter. You know, the games are they're coming out at a faster clip than we've seen, and I feel like this has just been like kind of a slower summer.
We've got a direct next week, so there's maybe some new things coming out
Cool.
from that. So, you have any thoughts on? We haven't talked about Tarkov for a very long time.
Yeah.
Tarkov is going to Steam.
Hmm.
How you feel about that?
I don't know really how I feel about it. I don't know if I necessarily have like a strong opinion one way or another.
The one post I saw was, so this goes 99% negative reviews immediately was what the people were on Reddit were saying.
Probably because of just like some of the monetization that they've done. I think it's really gross to be like the Edge of Darkness package, which I
All
adopted into
DLC.
that.
You never had to buy a DLC again
Yeah,
for it. It was great.
until
You never had to buy more DLC.
until that changed.
And then they pulled the rug on you.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But also Mids was like a diehard fan of it, and that was like very early on in my PC gaming life.
Yeah.
So I bought the Edge of Darkness back in the day, and man, I don't know. It's like that game is just like you just got to play that game all the time. Like there really is not a lot of room to play other things. I feel like if you really want to excel at that game.
The problem is all I see when I read about it, even recently, is that they have a massive cheating problem.
Oh, they always have.
That ruins and breaks the entire experience.
I agree with that, but there are so many people, content creator or otherwise, that have stuck with it, and I respect that. Like I really do. I think it's pretty cool that they have such a diehard following. I think it's the best extraction shooter that exists. And I don't know if that's like, I mean, I can't think of one.
I don't know. There's a big group that you're competing against. But
No,
yes.
but like there have been games that have come out and have failed, and Tarkov,
they've come and gone while Tarkov still persisted.
And like Tarkov is like one of the originals, right? And I think that there's just like a lot of compelling elements to Tarkov. I hate the ammo system in Tarkov. It just has never resonated with me, where it's just like, you're just like, I'm using an AK and it shoots a 5.56, but then I've got to like buy different ammos to be effective. I've never liked it. I've never liked that aspect of Tarkov. But what I will say is, if you're a weirdo that just plays Tarkov, like there's a ton of depth to sink your teeth into. You need fucking spreadsheets. You need all of these things. And they've just like completely embraced, like they have not faltered or swayed away from that hardcore element. And I guess I respect that, because there are people out there that need that.
Sure. Just me looking at this like from afar.
Yeah.
And with the business model they set up with their own launcher, the whole thing. I don't think it's good news that you went to Steam. I don't think you are going to Steam because the getting's good. Right?
Well, the launcher will probably still exist, right?
It's not about whether it exists. I'm saying that you had a business model that very specifically was going around being on other platforms. And today you decide, hey, we're going to go to these other platforms. I think it's probably because things are not going how you want them to, because you probably need money.
You're probably right about that.
Right? Like, I don't think for this long, the entire length of this podcast, that this thing has not been on any other platforms. And then in 2025, they're like, actually, the whole yeah, we're going to Steam. It's like, probably because things are not well, and you're going to get a bunch of cash from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you could try to convince me otherwise.
Yeah, no, I agree with that for sure. I don't think that that's wrong.
They're probably going to sell. I mean, they will sell copies. Like they will sell. I have no idea what they will sell.
Yeah, I want to know what the price point will be. you know,
$150. All
just
DLC
to buy it,
included
to buy
for
it.
Edge of Darkness. I don't know.
Oh my god, dude, such a mess. That game, dude. Hundreds of hours I put
There's
into
a
that
thing
game.
there. I mean, they have a.
But the problem is like hundreds of hours, and to play Tarkov like effectively, you're at hundreds of hours. You're still a newcomer,
Mhm.
and that is the problem. I feel like where it is and it isn't, because it's just like there are people out there that are just gonna love that aspect of it,
Sure.
and these edge lords that are like, oh, I've invested fucking 2,000 hours, and now I go into fights and I win. You know what I mean? Because I've memorized all this shit, and like I know there's just so many dynamics and things that you have to take into account with any fight in that game, and I think that that's inherently compelling. But also, it's like for somebody that wants to play other video games, it's just not
It's
super.
just not.
It's just not it. So I wish them well.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can. I'd love to see that thing 1.0. It's not going to happen in our lifetime,
No.
but I would love to see it 1.0. Because like their whole thing was like all of the missions that are in this game right now are side missions,
Mhm.
and we're by the time we 1.0 it, there's going to be like a completely different mission structure, and what you are doing right now is all side content, and that has become like, for the community that plays that game, that's all they know. And so it's like, what does it look like if you're doing something more robust or expanded
I don't think
than
it's
what
ever
you're
gonna
doing right
happen, but
now?
who knows? One more thing before we sign off.
Okay.
And I know you have mixed feelings about Reddit, but I'm going to be, according to Reddit, Destiny's not in a good spot. Destiny's dead.
Yeah, no, they have not done great things with the newest release.
And I only bring it up because suddenly there was an influx of, I mean, I'm not hanging out on the Destiny subreddit, but I have like my feed right in Reddit.
Yeah.
And suddenly just overwhelming. People are just like, this thing's fucking over.
Yeah.
Like the show's over, guys.
Yep.
And
I that is a game that I've also the most
I've
hours.
had a lot of fun playing that game.
500 hours, Nick.
Good Lord.
Since the final shape came out in Destiny 2. So obviously, like I'm very plugged in with all the content creators and things like that. I still watch some of the content creators' videos that I like. And yeah, it's not good. What I will say is Pete Parsons resigned, which is a big thing.
Needed to happen.
Should have happened a long time ago. I would be shocked if that was something that he chose, and it wasn't Sony being like, "Hey, you seem like a piece of shit. You got to get out of here. We'll cut you like solid stock options. You're already rich as shit. Get the fuck out." And I don't know if they have announced a new CEO yet for the studio, but I would not be surprised if it's somebody that has a lot of Sony experience.
What a mess.
We see what happens. You know what I mean?
What a mess.
Sony's got the bankroll. They can turn it around.
Yeah, except they've got the two punch of Destiny is in a dumpster, and Marathon has some major copyright problems that they're working through, and that'll probably come out in the spring. They delayed it to say whatever, but
yeah,
I don't think anyone that's got their hands on Marathon has really, the excitement level hasn't been there, so there's major concerns about it. So it's just like, oh no, like what's gonna happen here?
But we have a pretty we have, I think, just as human beings, we have the tendency to just remember what's going on now and not think about what has happened in the past. And
they've made incredible things.
They have made incredible things.
Like they have made, there are so many different expansions, and then the original Destiny 2, and then how they salvaged the original Destiny with the Taken King. Like they have done some things over there that's like groundbreaking.
But they've also put out some real dog shit expansions where the community is like, this is the end. It's over. It's over and done with, So I don't know. You kind of have to take it all with a grain of salt, I think, and just kind of think about it from that perspective, where it's just like, we'll just see how they pivot and rebound. But the problem is that you put out the final shape, which is a great expansion,
Yeah, it
one of
was
the best
awesome.
expansion. It was so fucking good. And then you put out, I don't even know the name of the new one.
Mm. But they
And no one likes
specifically
it.
said after that like, I mean, they forecasted it. This is like everything forward is to strip smaller. Like we are not doing these things
Yeah, and
anymore.
that's not necessarily like a dagger to the heart, so to speak. Like as long as that content is good, like if
Yeah,
it's smaller and it's more piecemeal over a more frequent cadence of release, like that's not necessarily a problem. It's
sure.
just that what you are doing in Destiny now, it does not seem super compelling to the people that have stuck with Destiny forever. And
Mhm.
so I don't know, man. It's a real big pickle for Bungie, and I just think, I mean, we are quickly hurtling towards Bungie just being completely controlled by Sony. As
Which is
much as they didn't want that to happen, that's what's going to happen.
pretty much. And then
And then
Sony has people they directly control that make good shit. So maybe they can
exactly.
maybe they can bring it back because there are Sony studios that make fantastic
Yep.
games.
Yep,
So
and I think realistically, I know we've talked a lot about this kind of stuff on the podcast, but like, I think the move, I still am convinced the move is you get rid of Pete Parsons and all of his Ferraris. You get him out of the garage, the
sure.
Bungie garage, uh, and you put somebody in place that is familiar with Bungie and somewhat familiar at least, and you invest all your resources into Destiny 3. That's what you do.
Yeah, probably.
That is what you do.
Because marathons
Marathon's not, it's not hitting.
you can
It's
probably quote me. I do not think that thing is going to blow up.
no, and Sony said like there were like when they delayed it, rightfully so. There was like speculation. It was like, well, is it going to be a couple of years until it comes out now? And Sony was like, nah, it's going to come out in the next 6 months.
Yeah,
We've got to put this thing out.
I do think it will.
Which I don't blame Sony at all.
I think it'll be out before July. I do not think that it's going to capture, and I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we'll play it.
But
We'll get on there and maybe have a couple of games and be like, yeah, this sucks.
This is Concord Plus.
And then bounce probably. But
it's a bummer.
For future, I just think that Bungie is in like a very unique position where I don't think capital B billions of dollars that Sony spent on or Bungie. And mostly Destiny at the time. Realistically,
they should just be able to look.
They're not going to fold them. And it's they're the Halo devs. Like they just have such a pedigree that Sony's going to come in. They're going to run roughshod against what's happening, and they're going to kind of mold them into what they want them to be. And I really truly believe it's either new IP, which I think is maybe a mistake. I do think that it's Destiny 3. I do. It's like, let's wipe the slate clean and let's just get back after it and like try to capture what we captured with the original games.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think that is the play. I think it's probably a long ways out.
I think that's the only play.
Yeah, it's probably what's going to happen. That's going to do it. That's episode 151. I just had it up. I forgot 159. Thank you for listening. If you want to come and join the Discord, talk to us, you should be able to find the link in the show notes. Or if you're watching on YouTube, in the bio, there will be a link there. That's going to do it. Take it easy, guys.